Heyo everybody, it is Voltage, and we're here for something a little bit different than what I usually do in this game, and I made sure that was clear on the front. Now, I've actually never dropped a video like this. I've had videos with this in it. This is a rant. You could call it a review, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all and just say review. I'm here to rant about this new set a little bit. So, I know that crash outs are some of you guys' favorite things about me. And I'm not even going to waste your time really on anything else besides getting into this. And I do need to do videos on a couple of this. So like the limited leader tournament is on, I think. I heard that it started, but I heard mixed opinions so far. This is what event match. I'm not sure how long this lasts. How long is this? This is till the 29th. It already started on the 15th. So I probably should do a few matches of this. I'll do a video covering it. I have no idea what team I'm going to use, but I'll do a video covering it. This is like a mini tournament, 7 matches again. I'll probably do a long form video doing the event match with limited leaders. It's going to be a fun time. But, okay, well, I hope it'll be a fun time. I can't even promise that because, like I said, we're talking about a rant. So what's the rant about? The rant's about this new set. Let's go look at decks. I think it's the best way to handle this. So here's the new leaders, right? I've done videos on every last one of them. I did play some Vegeta mini for myself. He will be probably the next leader showcase, but I guess I also need to do the event first. So he will get a showcase video too, though. He'll be the first next one. And then I'm going to check out a couple other ones who've kind of gotten some buffs this season. I've seen some really interesting potential video topics. And then we'll do around like mid-season, we're going to go back through everybody and do like a real team. Broly might come earlier though. I know you guys wanted Nappa. So he might come before that just to run with Nappa and some of the other cards you suggested for him. But that's kind of the scheduled plan. We also have Giblet and Shallot coming soon. So probably around the time Giblet Shallot drop, we'll do the leader redos. Right, with their like, this is late season, the meta has stabilized, this is how good they're going to be, and because potentially certain cards in there might help certain decks, potentially. Rant time. Okay, so first let me give you just a tiny bit of background if you don't know me, or if you do and don't know much about me when it comes to this game specifically. I have been playing this game since the day it came out. I knew way before the game dropped that I was going to be playing it. I was very excited for that to happen. And I started the day it dropped. I had bought physical packs. I got the game packs. That was before I realized that you save way more money just playing digital. I wasn't really going to be playing this game that much physical. I still buy the physical of the other Dragon Ball Super card game, the original one, and I play digitally on here for fun. So I'm a huge fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game. I was already collecting for about 2 years by the time that happened. I love playing decks with, I have a friend who plays with me that I play with a lot, it's G-Freak. We play in person with the card game. It's been a while actually, but we should play again soon. I just haven't the money to buy new boxes. And I started getting into this one though more on my own because I just love card games that much. And I've been playing every season. That's the most important part. So you're not here for my backstory, you're here for the rant. But what I mean to say is I've played every season. I've gotten every season's leaders. I've ran the decks. I've played different decks in different seasons. As you can see, I've really played this, right? I don't really delete decks often, if at all. So I've played a lot, and I've summoned on every banner, and I've pulled almost every card in the game at least once. Almost. Missing maybe a couple of secret rares. I say that to lead into the beginning of this rant that I think this is the worst pack that Dragon Ball Super Card Games ever released. You heard me talk about this in a couple of videos. I think I said it in Piccolo's video, was where I finally made that decree, or Goku's, where I said, I think I need to stand on this. This is the worst pack they have ever dropped. You may have seen on the channel that before this pack came out, I covered the new leaders, and I was not happy with what was coming. I was already thinking this was going to be bad on the horizon. You may say that's bias, but I came in pretty happy. If you go watch the summon video, I was pretty excited to try them out. I was willing to give them a try, and I was like, you know, even if they're not that popular, as long as they're fun, I'm okay with that. Where do I begin? If I had to choose a place to truly begin, let's just start in the order I presented them. And we're going to start with this Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Pros section. I think this Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, we need to show off his team while I'm yapping. I think that this card is very fun, very cool. I think people wanted Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. He was hyped up. He goes from what looks like Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3. And he's super fun, and while I haven't tried out his new deck other than the starter deck you purchased, I've seen his team is actually pretty solid in the meta. He came out to be pretty well performing. He's not top tier, but he's solid. Now, you might be wondering when I use the word top tier what I'm referring to. Well, I do have a tier list I tend to check pretty often. I was waiting until, this is on Tuesday I'm recording this, so you're probably seeing this Wednesday or Thursday. I was looking into that tier list being updated because I really wanted to kind of see what the tournament results were showing, what opinions were finalized from people who make tier lists and from people who play the game. And I also looked into, even for once, a couple of other YouTubers. I really wanted to see what people were thinking because I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me, that people were seeing the same things I was seeing. And the confirmation I got was, yes, this deck is, not deck, this set is an unbalanced piece of slop, if we're being so real. I hate to be negative. I really don't drop negative videos often. The last time I was this negative, ironically, was Dragon Ball Daima. But, dude. But Vegeta being solid, he's probably like a B tier, A tier. I could make a tier list myself of the leaders in the game, but I give him a B tier, A tier, right? That's a good start. I was happy to see how his deck would turn out, and he's going to get a video where I'm good to see it. But then we immediately jump into this. Android 18. Android 18 is one of the worst leaders I've ever seen in this game. Real talk. Not because her ability is that bad. In fact, I like her ability. It's her team that's dog shit. So normally she's just drawing, turns up at 4, draws still on attacking, basic 20k, and can choose in one battle to give an android battle card that are in battle with opponents' battle cards only an extra 20k. So maybe that ability is a little bit lacking, maybe, but it's not the worst thing in the world. They decided that Red, which I love Red, I have fun with Jiren, but I have heard consistently from multiple people in the comment section, I've seen people talk about it online, I've seen that people are saying Red is in a bad spot. I'm starting to get you. Because if Red is already in a bad spot, why the hell are we going to drop a whole new category onto Red in it being Android? Why are we doing that? Because she works specifically with androids. These sets have happened multiple times. If I want to show you some of them, some of the ones that have happened, I need to go into, let's just edit the deck. So there are examples, I showed this before. Daima Goku is an example of a new set being needed, except he doesn't only boost Daima, but he does give his bonus to Daima. He can run with the other red cards, same as 18, but let me correct myself here. He's a Daima leader. His ability is specifically boosting Daima by 10,000 once per turn in general, while she is giving 20,000, except only against battle cards. Except he's still better, although he wasn't that good. But Daima had good enough cards to make it work and had somewhat of a place in the meta, but he wasn't a good release. He was still relevant, but not good, right? Tournament of Power has been this the whole time, so that's why Beerus is lackluster, being only kind of a godly unit, but you can still use him in general. Goku has just been power cliffed. This guy got heavy nerfs, so he hardly counts. Jiren is really good and runs with a specific card, but he doesn't only boost that team, so he's got a lot of options. UI Goku isn't good and was not really good on release, unfortunately. But at least it doesn't work with only a specific type of card. This Daima Goku, his ability is in general, so sometimes he's even considered a better leader on red. Let's go to green, just for another example, because I know off the top of my head, we had an Android-based deck, which still worked with, which was also Saiyan, because we started off with Broly. But on release, we had Broly as the starter deck, which worked with most of the Saiyan cards, and we had androids for androids. Then we got, you know, Gohan here, which was Cell Saga, which still worked with the androids, and his ability didn't require Cell Saga cards or anything like that. You then had Cell, who was able to build off of the androids and the Cell Saga, and then you get into the new stuff with Piccolo. Piccolo was one where you were introducing Saiyan Saga cards. However, he wasn't locked to the Saiyan Saga. Vegeta over here is locked to Saiyan, but guess what? He was adding new cards that fit the Saiyan and building off the existing Broly deck to form his team, okay? Broly runs with mostly his own original cards. They did him right because the best cards in his set are the cards he runs with. So he's able to actually find a place. And then Goku was with Namek cards, but they added an insane secret rare, which just carried this guy's team. And even when he is not the highest rated, he is still relevant because his team can just do work if it gets the situation off. That's fine. Not every leader needs to be banger. But we can't have every leader be dog shit either. And every leader isn't dog shit, but she sure is. She's horrible. Okay? If you like her, if you're happy she's in the game, I'm happy for you. I'm not happy for me. Okay? This is horrible. Horrible. And it's only the first of many mistakes. I could rant about her for another 15 minutes, but if you want to hear my reviews on that, I did have her video showcase. At the end of it, I talked about the biggest flaws of her deck. Go watch that if you want to hear the specific analysis of the deck and why it's bad. But this is a general rant, and I don't have time to spare on that because we've got more to talk about. So let's move on to Broly. I should save him for last, but we're going to go in order. Broly is, in my opinion, now, almost without a doubt, except maybe close with one, the best leader that was released in this set. He focuses on kind of attacking early and draining his life very quick in the early half of the game, transforming and then using the Brolys in his deck to ramp up to unbeatable power, while also, if you have the SRs and the like on your team, to protect him, staying at 4 energy, focusing on these ridiculous Brolys, and having a little bit of help here and there, and just overwhelming the enemy team with so much power they cannot compete with you. That's what he does. What we were looking for in this set after last season, if you were playing last season, which I imagine most of you were because it was the anniversary, was a counter to Super Buu. Is this guy that? I would argue relatively yes, but I haven't really seen Buu versus Super Buu that much, and I've still heard a lot that Super Buu is still insane in this team. So, is he really a counter? Maybe not. He is just the newest toy and the best card of the deck, and even then, I've seen most people consider, as good as Broly is, he's not a top-tier team. I've seen a lot of consensus on who the best teams in the game are, and that's a whole section of this rant we're going to get to. He's good, though. He's fine as a leader. If he was the best in the game, I think he'd be insanely toxic. But with most considering him to not be the best in the game, I think that he is around the level we would want on a new leader. But you would argue he also should have been the best in the game, or at least in contention. It's not as if there's one dominant team like Super Buu last time. Typically, every season has about 3. Right now, I think we have about 4 in the discussion. But it ain't him. It ain't him. So, I think the cards are sick, though. Love Secret Rare. Love the concept of the team. I think it's very fun for playing as. It's not fun to play against. But it's a cool team. It's a cool team. Okay. Goma. Holy fucking dog shit. This is one of the... Oh, you think 18 is bad? I think 18 is bad, but you know what she at least somewhat has? She has a deck that has synergy and doesn't have purpose. That's her problem. Who does she counter? What team do you need to be attacking the battle cards with that much strength? Broly? Let me tell you, she gets crushed. She gets crushed by Broly. Okay? She has no purpose. Goma has not only no purpose, but no utility. I said it from the jump. He was a terrible leader idea. Why the fuck did we release a Goma that turned into Goma? Okay? We couldn't have waited or just jumped ahead in the sub to make him at least transform in a third eye Goma. We had to instead keep him just the small fry Goma. And then, instead of being, you know, I've noticed certain games, like let's say Dokkan, for example, we're talking in the Dragon Ball realm, right? Maybe a lot of you have played Dokkan in the past, play it now. It's a reference you'll probably understand. Dokkan does have a tendency to drop shit characters. And a lot of the times they are fumbles. But when they do it right, they drop a character who's not popular, and they make that character really good. One of the best examples, even if you quit Dokkan, you may remember, is Videl. They dropped the Videl as a Dokkan Fest TUR, and she, which was basically like one of the highest releases, similar to like a leader here, right? That would consider basically a leader like Goma. They'd be around the same tier. They're a TUR, and they are horribly unpopular because who is just out here to buy Videl? Real talk, right? But they made her insane, and she did good. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss. This is an insane miss. I have to argue this is one of the least popular characters they have ever dropped in this game. And I would also say that making him ass only hurt even more. Oh, I'm taking a sip of water, bro. I'm not finished. This, you know what really fucks Goma? Why on earth is this a thing? You get rid of the field, it's cool, I've had fun with it. Why does the name have to be the same as the field? Why do the fields have different names? Why do all the cards not just have the same field name? I don't know. I don't get it. You know what else sucks? Here's one of the best cards you could probably run on this team. He's a double attacking 20, gives you a life. He comes out at 3, making him really good for pressure. He doesn't have any tags because they released him in the last pack before they decided on Goma's tags, and they didn't update him to have the tags. Because even though this is a digital game, they didn't want to make an errata or something like that for people in person to have. Instead, they just left him blank. Which means this card is pretty ass in Goma's deck because he doesn't fit. And he's good, but loses his value. You can run other cards that don't fit. Janemba, Naze, Vegeta, that work well. But when you've got cards limited by the name of the Demon Realm to be played, absolutely stupid. Dumb as shit. And then look at this. These guys are a thing right now. They came out in Season 5, and they have tags for Demon Realm at least. But guess what? They don't have stuff like First Demon World. Why does a card like this not have Demon Realm in it on the tag that they're so specific and narrowed? It's some of the stupidest design I've ever seen in this game. He was doomed for failure. How do we play test this and think, yes, Goma is a great card to release in the current meta? How could we think this for a second? I don't get it. I don't. It's so moronic. This team is shit, okay? It's shit. It's irrelevant. It's getting nothing in the meta. And it has one of the worst things a team can have on release. A core design flaw. You see how I said 18 doesn't have a purpose? That can change. Make a team where you're going to want to go for the battle cards most of the time. Or make an effect card where if you play it, like give her a field where if you beat a battle card of a certain power or something like that, you do 1 damage to the opponent or something. You can have a next set come out to enhance it. That's happened to a lot of leaders where they're not as good on release and then the next set buffs them and they get better. That has happened. 18 is redeemable with a couple of fixes or by making a new leader who 18 counters. You give her a purpose. You can give her a purpose because with new Android cards, she will have synergy. She just needs a purpose. The issue with Goma is not only does he not have a purpose, he doesn't have any synergy. He's a fundamentally flawed card. Fundamentally flawed team. Maybe you make a new Goma with Third Eye, and you can take these cards and throw it on his team. But this leader, practically dead on release. And if they dare, and I mean dare, to release a Goma who isn't on yellow, like they make him red with the new Third Eye Goma, I will lose my fucking shit. Because it's so terrible to have made it this way. So terrible, so terrible, so terrible. All right, he's done. We're done with Goma. Throw him to the side. In the shit pile he belongs. Oh, sorry. Actually, final thing on him. Why the fuck is Third Eye Goma not even a card? I said that I suspected that they would do similar to Broly, where they would give him a card that was the Third Eye Goma, and just in the deck, the leader is still not Third Eye Goma. No, he's not even in this. This was made in like the first half of Daima around Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta time, and I think it was insanely poorly decisionally made because based on the schedule, this wasn't going to be released until after the Daima sub was done. And then the next Daima stuff, if Daima's in Pack 6, isn't coming until like the fall. Something like that. It's like, what is the month? It's like, isn't it like August? It's like August, September, somewhere around there. All right, now he's done, dude. Now, these two are the biggest rant topics. Goku, I'm not really going to be that hard on, real talk. Let's discuss Goku. So, Goku. I mean, what do I say about Goku? I was really excited for this deck, and he represents some of the good and the bad that's wrong with this set. It is a rant, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to be fair and not talk about the good as well. So Kid Goku is certainly a character that many people both criminally overrate and criminally underrate, I think personally. You can't have a single Dragon Ball game conversation without the Goku Dragon Ball original glazers or the Dragon Ball original haters. I think that there are equal amounts of both. Well, probably more haters. There probably are more haters, but when it comes to how loud they are, it's equal. I get original Dragon Ball is special to a lot of people. I get that a lot of people think it's criminally underrated, and they find it to be their, God-sent, Shenron granted mission of defending Dragon Ball with their life. And I feel like a lot of people get offended because they see the haters and feel justified. Like, so many people hate on Dragon Ball, they just don't get it like I do. I love original Dragon Ball. I talk about this plenty, especially with these two decks. I love Kid Goku. I love the Great Ape Fist Kid Goku more because I thought he would, match the King Piccolo. Funny enough, he doesn't have a card in this set either, but I get that they were doing the tournament and then King Piccolo, I guess, is his own separate thing. Sure, whatever, right? I love him. I love King Piccolo. I love a lot of original Dragon Ball. And the haters are a little excessive. Some of them are just, if I'm gonna diss one, I'm just the other. Some of them are a little brain dead, a little lackluster. If it's not a Super Saiyan, if it doesn't transform, if it doesn't have an aura, if it doesn't scream, I'm not here for it, okay? It's a little brain dead, I think. You can have both. You can like both, and you can have a preference. There's nothing wrong with saying you prefer Super Saiyans and fusions and whatever more than you prefer original Dragon Ball. That's fine. But you can't then use your preference as an excuse to diss original Dragon Ball. I think that's just stupid. So what does that say? Well, because that's going to be the conversation around this deck. Original Dragon Ball, it's here. It always comes eventually, but I don't think that having two headliners in this set that was lackluster would... Okay. Kid Goku and Piccolo are amazing as a double pair. If the other three in the set are hype. When you've got two people less hype than them, which is rare these days, in Goma, no transformation, and Android 18, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I love 18. Listen, I don't care how horny you are. I don't care that you love her because she's a female character. I don't give a shit, okay, why you love her. That's awesome. I support you loving her. She's not hype. She's not. Do a poll anywhere. Ask if she's hype. Watch the results of the general public. Anywhere. Show me the results. You're going to see she's not hype. Okay? She's just not. That's okay. Non-hype characters should exist. They should be in packs. Android 18 should be a leader. I think she should. Goma with transformation should be a leader. This Goma was worthless. He should not be a leader. Goma with third eye? Yes. Maybe if Goma came out earlier, I would understand this. It's way too late for him to be dropping to be just Goma. Kid Goku? Hell yes. King Piccolo? Hell yes. I love that. Put the four of them together and you get a crock pile of shit. Okay? So despite already being arguably the second or third most hype in the set, for better or for worse, Kid Goku also, we want him to be good. You know what I said earlier. Less hype characters need to be good. So, is he good? Honestly, yes. I think that he turned out solid. He's around the same level as Broly. I've heard some maybe say he's a little bit worse than Broly. He is good-ish, but he's not good enough to rival what we already had. His team doesn't seem good enough, and Blue was already strong, and it just made Blue stronger. However, a lot of what he does well, and a lot of his good cards, aren't being run on his team. They're being run on another, which is going to be a real big climax to this rant. So Kid Goku himself is lackluster. What's the other issue? Well, on top of the design issues, they decided that they had a glitch. There was a glitch with Kid Goku on release centered around this bad boy right here. You know, the secret rare, the only one of two secret rares that comes out with the new pack that most people are pulling for and hyped to use that come to this game. He was broken. And because of their own glitch on his release, they said this, the second maintenance was over, they said he was broken. They also said he wouldn't be fixed for 9 fucking days. 9 days? How do you already know it's going to take 9 days to fix him? That's what gets me. How do you know it's going to be 9 days? This is over a week later, dude. Over a week later for a card that released in this new set post-Annie. An important card. This isn't, you know, one cost Gearin. Hell, it ain't even SRTN. This is the, you know, basically LR, if you understand those terms. Ultra, if you understand Legends terms, of this release. Which we don't get, you know, once a month, once every 2 months. We get these every, like, 3 months. And he's busted for 9 days. So you couldn't even, like, really review the team that well. You couldn't see how he performed. If you were a free-to-play or a guy who didn't spend that much money on the game and you pulled him, sucks. If you were a guy who spends a lot of money on the game and you pulled him, sucks. See you in over a week. How many people do you think, casual players especially, logged in, pulled this guy or tried to, saw he was busted, turned the game off, and didn't even come back? How many? Think about that. For a digital client like this. Like, it's not like we're playing, you know, a $70 highlight game. You would argue that maybe that is a counter argument to what I'm saying. That, you know, it's a free game. No, it's not. This game makes bank, okay? They are over a year in with a whole nother year planned. They make money, okay? They make money. They have enough money to fix a card in a reasonable amount of time. This should have taken 9 hours, not 9 days. Even if it took a couple of days, a few days, you got to understand 9 is ridiculous. I'm not letting that go. That is one of the biggest fumbles I've ever seen them drop in this game, was how they handled that secret rare situation. Terrible. And speaking of terrible, here's the king of all terrible himself, Demon King Piccolo. Okay? This guy has the makings of a very fun team. I like the cards he can run. I'm sure, and again, these are all just, I know some people are going to see this. I should have disclaimed this. Some people are going to see this, and they're going to look at these teams, and they're going to call them shit and say, I'm raging because I'm ass. I should have said that these were the introductory teams when I was first showing off the characters, before any meta, before any top tier teams were really being made and posted. This was very early. Those videos, as I said earlier, will come around mid-season, late season, where I show their best. So this isn't just from my experience with teams that can be improved. It's also from what I'm hearing of other people's experiences, from other videos and research, things like that. And so that's why I continue saying this with a level of confidence. This team has a very fun gimmick. I love the whole team being built around these King Piccolo eggs, King Piccolo's ability, and his kids coming out to contribute to the fight. I think it is super fun, and I like that late game. You've got these SR Piccolos, which you can even rush early. You've got these cool double strikes near the end, or, well, one's can attack twice, one's got something else, but these two, I mean, 5 costs, really. Gogeta was a new unit on black. He doesn't really fit always that much, but he's kind of cool. It's a cool concept. Unfortunately, it's terrible in execution. This guy's relatively dog shit. I've heard rumors that some people know how to use him or have found a little bit of tricks for him and made him work. I'm sure with enough practice he can work decent, but unfortunately his fun gimmick is locked behind being shit. And if you're losing every game and, you know, this team is just not performing, you're not having fun. Especially playing ranked. Maybe you enjoy just getting your ass beat in casual. Hell, more power to you, dude. I know I don't. I know a lot of people don't. He's a fumble. So not only he's not that popular as we've been over before, he's not that popular, he's ass, and he has no situation where you want to use him in the meta. Fraud. King fraud. Okay. I've gotten that out. We've spoke on it. What's my big next point here? So basically, 3 leaders suck ass of the paid. 1 is okay. 1 is good, but not good enough. You're kind of questionable, but relatively good as a free-to-play leader with the right paid team. What's my next point? Well, to do that, we need to scroll up and talk about 3 teams. Satan City. Really, 2. Let's say 2 teams first. So Satan City, and everyone's favorite, Majin Buu. I've never done a big video on Buu. I think, well, I want to say never. I have done 1 or 2. Yeah, I did Super Buu here and was checking out the tourney before he really was good. I did Super Buu here. So we're talking about Super Buu, and we're talking about Satan City. Now, what are we discussing with this? What we're discussing with this is that they are crazy. Still, this dude Super Buu was dominating the meta last season. Everyone was waiting for this season to counter him. Guess what? His team's still crazy. It's still crazy. Somehow worse. I think he is the worst, best deck in the game we have ever had, with the only comparison being Broly as a potential, like, early game Broly. Green was by far the best in the game. Not even close. Okay? Android's honorable mention. But I think Super Boo is the very best, worst team we have ever had. He makes people miserable. I've seen so many people just quit the game because of him. I've seen so many people just discuss and have no counter for him, really. It's just like, yeah, if you get lucky with this, this, and this, you might win. And if you don't, you lose. That's the answer. That's ridiculous. That's straight up ridiculous. Okay? Should never be the case. Especially in a game with so little updates. That's the difficulty of balancing card games. When there are so little updates, you fall into these holes. Look at Pokemon Pocket. Pokemon Pocket, honestly, is low-key putting this game to shame. Low-key. I know their games are a lot quicker and easier and stuff like that, so it's not a fair comparison. Pokemon Pocket updates pretty much every month. Some people think that's too much, some people don't. But you know what balancing every month does? It changes up the meta. It freshens things up quicker, so you're not stuck with this. In Pokemon TCG terms, this is the Giratina Darkrai. And Giratina Darkrai has been pretty dominant for 2 seasons now, so I can't say it's a perfect example, but there are shakeups every time, and there are counters to that deck specifically. It's a different environment. It's not a fair direct comparison entirely, but it's worth noting that's different. I'm not saying they need to be like Pocket, but I am saying if you're releasing every 3 months and you're barely changing the meta, you need to be careful to not have someone like Super Boo here. We've had bans in this game before with this guy. Where is he? Do I have his deck? Here he is. God Goku has had bans. They put bans in for this guy. My throat is getting dry, dude. I need a drink. They put bans for this guy. Okay? Bans. He went downhill. So, that was needed. He was insanely dominant. If you told me this was the worst meta to play in, that's valid. I loved him. So I'm biased. But that's entirely valid if you think he was the worst. Sure. But keep that shit in mind. They banned. We've never seen a ban or a restriction since. Do you understand that if we're releasing new packs every 3 months, how long you're going to be dealing with Super Boo as number 1? 6 months. A fucking half year of Super Boo. You know who's been around even longer than that? Even longer? Satan City, who has consistently been either deck 1 or deck 2 in the game. They released dog shit. Hidden sauce, not understood. New seasons came around. Some changes got implemented. The last 2 seasons before this one, and now this one, this deck is still in talks for the best deck in the game. Consistently 1 or 2 in every meta. Has not dropped. It's insane that this is the case. It's insane this is still the case. That's all I need to say. Since this guy, since UI Goku, Satan City has been this dominant. That was that set with these guys in it. Then it was the anniversary meta. He was better. Him and Super Boo were better than every anniversary unit's team. On release, the anniversary units are really good. And then Super Boo and Satan City overpowered them. The anniversary. And they thought that wasn't good enough for any kind of changes. Or they didn't. I'm not saying they had to be nerfed. What I am saying is that they should have been countered. Tell me clearly, which of these leaders is your counter to Super Boo and Satan City realistically? Who's doing it? Can you find him? Can you pick him up? Oh, how about Super Vegeta? Can you find him? Who's doing it? Who's countering them both? Who's countering one realistically and not getting your ass kicked by every other team in the game? None of these guys, right? None of these 6. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. There are a couple of other ones. Here's kind of like an honorable mention. As you can see, by the way, a lot of these decks are really old before I was ever doing content, and I knew what I was doing. These are a lot of like 60 card decks. I do not run 60s anymore, dude. But they were pretty bad because I was very early into the game, right? Most of them anyway, unless they were like tourneys like this one. Blue Vegeta's had an uprising, which I appreciate. We should have this, though. So let me clarify. Do I like that an old leader like Subaru became good? Sure. Do I like that Super Saiyan 2 Goku became good? Yeah. Do I like that Blue Vegeta is currently uprising and is in, debates for being one of the top teams because Yellow is just busted right now? Yeah. Should they be the top 3 teams in the game, in theory? Fuck no, they shouldn't. Because then why are you going for the new leaders in teams just to fight the same old leaders buffed again? Terrible design, and what's worse is the timing. I talked about this a couple times in videos, and I said that a lot of games will release, and they will have an anniversary, and whatever comes right after Annie will typically be lower quality because they just spent so much extra time working on Annie. For live service games, that happens all the time. Even in games that don't have anniversaries, you will see after big celebrations, what comes after a really big one might be a little worse. That's because of resources, time management, and priority to the big events. However, when you then look at this game, which again, its release window is very short, and was just pulling in so many people for Annie, this isn't something like a gacha game where all it takes is a good banner and they all come back. It'll help, but you want to keep people playing consistently, especially with how hard it is to earn cards in this game. If you're not paying money, it isn't easy. I'm not going to diss a free-to-play and say it's light work. It's not. So taking a break can be critical to you because there's not an easy way to get these cards again. This is a turn-off that not only makes players take a break, but maybe never come back, okay? The meta is absolutely dog shit and maybe is worth its own discussion, but is part of the rant. And on top of that, it needed change. The meta's horrible, but it's the same meta on top of that. Even if Broly replaced the meta as the most dominant one, he at least is new. Not Boo again for 6 months total, not Satan City again for 6 months total. You loan a match, and that's what you see. Like, the next video I do is going to be showing off Vegeta Mini, who thankfully is slipping through the cracks. He's a leader who was very bad, and now in this meta is having an uprising a little bit because of what's changed. Is he a top team? Maybe he'll become one. As of now, I'd say no is the general opinion. But is he much better than absolutely useless like he was on release? Yes. That's an example of an old leader being fixed in a good way. Vegeta Mini Daima is the winner of this set. Just kidding. It's Super Buu and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Vegeta, he was kind of on the uprise last season. Now he's really there. He deserves it. But the other ones, no, dog. No. So, personally, I think they botched the release. I think they had cool ideas with poor execution. I think that balancing is terrible. And I overall think that this is, as I said on the thumbnail, the worst set they have ever released. Are the events probably going to be cool? Sure. But it doesn't matter if your card teams are ass or if your meta is ass. People are going to complain. Thankfully, they're making this like way of spicing things up. But it's not good. It's not good. These pickup packs are coming. Maybe this will be helpful to some players, although there's not really any free currency for them, but maybe it'll help you pick up stuff you're missing and kind of like have it easier to get. This is April 30th. This dropped. April 30th. Here's looking forward to the next thing. We do know that Shallot and Giblet are coming out early June. So far, I've been watching the reactions. They are posting some stuff like every day, every other day or so, where they are showing off the new cards coming. I've seen a lot of people saying so far Shallot and Giblet don't look crazy, which is going to be a rant of its own if they are bad. Because you need these guys to be good. If we're getting fresh content, I know it's just 2 starter packs, but Shallot and Giblet need to be good. Or we're going to have a serious problem on our hands. And it's only going to keep going. The manga pack is also on the horizon. Let's hope that... I've seen that they have a couple of new cards. Mostly, I've seen some reprints, but there are some new cards too. So let's hope that at least they're spicing up, dropping smaller stuff throughout the year. We just need that to actually do something. And maybe they need to go in and make some changes. Who's to say? But we'll find out soon. That's it for my rant. That's the end. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment your thoughts down below. I want to know whether you agree with me or not. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more. We're aiming for 800 subscribers as our next big goal, and I would love for more of you to join the Voltage crew. You can tell me your opinions in the comments. Am I completely tripping? Do you highly agree? Some parts you like, some parts you don't. Let me know down below. And if there's a leader you want to see a video on, whether it be one of these guys' remakes or a new leader who's been buffed, like Vegeta Mini, a remake of the starter deck, he's in there, or one of his other leaders. Maybe I should show you the power of Super Boo or Satan City. I don't have all the units for Super Boo that you really want to be toxic. I can do a little Super Boo, little Satan City. Maybe you want to see some of the anniversary leaders try again, right? Let me know, whoever y'all want, and I will run a video on them. I'm going to do the event match too. We'll have that coming soon. I'm busy with Elden Ring and Elden Ring Night Rain. If you are curious, check those out. Elden Ring playlist is on the channel. It's awesome. I love it. If you want to see me go crazy like this, where I'm like just triggered, like in this video, triggered is dating me, dude. I'm not that old, I swear. Only 21. But go check out Elden Ring, and you'll be able to really have some fun seeing me crash out over there. Night Rain's coming out in a few days, and I'm very excited to hop in with the boys and do some videos on it and absolutely cook. And of course, like I said, more card game coming, more of a number of content coming. So go enjoy yourself. Thank you guys again as always. I guess your nights, days, evenings, mornings, whatever time it is you're watching this. And I'll catch you guys next time. Voltage out.